Hey, what's going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and here we are going to be doing something I've wanted to do to a switch, my switch I guess, here for a while. Now this is my secondary switch that I have. I have a main one that is completely stock, hasn't been touched or anything, and this is mine that I have, you know, all my mods and stuff on. And I want something to differentiate this, at least aesthetically, immediately from my stock system. So I've been thinking of doing this for a while here, and I finally took the plunge and I decided to do it. So we're gonna do this together. I end up getting this thing here. This is a as close as I can get to a jungle green complete shell as I can. Well, at least the back here. It's the back plate and then the Joy-Con shells. So we're gonna do this together. Now, I just want to let you all know, if you're watching this for a tutorial, this is not going to be what this is. This here is just going to be, you know, kind of me going through this for fun and talking you all, you know, through what I'm thinking on here, what I'm doing, all that fun stuff. If you want a detailed breakdown of what exactly to do, you're going to be looking for another video, another resource for that. This is kind of just like a fun hangout video, so to speak. If you want to follow along, I mean, feel free to, but that's not going to be the idea of this video. We're just going to have some fun modding this thing up. So first of all, my switch is completely powered off. Nothing is happening here. And let's go ahead and start taking this damn thing apart. How about that? It would help if I had my toolkit here, so let me grab that. Alright, so let's go ahead, flip this thing over. I am going to remove my Joy-Cons because I don't need them for now. And let's do the easy thing first. The easy thing is actually going to be this back plate here for the Switch. So for this, I've taken this off a few times. I'm just going to grab a Tri-Wing. I'm using a Tri-Wing 0 personally. And let's just start taking this thing off. Alright, so we got the 4 all right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, remove my SD card. I don't believe there's any cartridge in there. No, there's no cartridge there. So now I need to start getting to the other screws. So I'll need a Phillips head. I'll be using a Phillips head 0 for this. And up at the top here, there is going to be one screw I need to remove. There we go. It's a super tiny one. And now at the bottom, there's going to be 2 screws here to remove. You just have to be super careful with these 2 so they don't lose anything. And there's also going to be a screw right under where the micro SD card goes. That is going to be the tiniest one. Alright. So now the cool thing is, to remove the back plate, you actually don't need to remove all of these screws. You really just need to remove, I believe, the middle one here. So let's go ahead and give that a try. I just remember the last time I did this, I didn't have to remove all of them, thankfully. And it looks like there's already been some pressure release there. So that is one. Let me get to the other. This one's going to be right here. Okay, this one took a little bit more effort, unfortunately, but I got this here. There we go. That was annoying. And if I remove all of these, there we go. All right. Very cool. So that's exactly what we were looking for. And yeah, that's just kind of a nice thing for anyone to know as well, too, in case you're worried about removing all of those. If you're doing a full disassembly, yeah, you'll probably have to there, or you will. But if all you're doing is removing the back plate here, that's literally it. You just do those 2 middle screws, which saves you a whole lot of effort there, thankfully. So now let's go ahead and start unboxing this thing and see what we're going to need to change out. So I'm going to open this up. And what do we got? Oh, well, there goes the Joy-Cons. And there's stuff going everywhere. Alright. So we have the actual Joy-Con. This is all on the side. We have some screws that I probably won't be using. And then right here, this is what I'm looking for. There we go. We're looking for the back plate here. This doesn't look too bad. So I guess it will just go something like that. That's all okay. Now, there are a couple things. We do have a new kickstand with this, but I'm going to have to transfer over the screw, just the mechanism from the old one. And unfortunately, it doesn't come with a translucent game cart slot. That's a little disappointing to me. So I will also have to transfer that over. So let's go ahead and work on those 2. So I'll just show you all. Right here, for example. This is what I was talking about. So it's going to be these two pieces that we need to remove. So first, it doesn't really matter what order we do it in, but let's get this out here. That's one. That's another. All right, and there we go. We ended up removing that piece. And it's just going to be something like that. So we can now remove this screw. Oh, I gotta go one level lower. I gotta go to a Phillips 00 is what it seems like. All right, so here. But are you kidding me? Is that? Oh my God, are you serious? That is, I forgot about that. That is a tri-wing. I need a tri-wing to actually take the backplate off, and then I need a Phillips, and they put a tri-wing on there again. Unbelievable. All right, so we're gonna do this. There we go. That screw is there. And we're going to remove this guy here and pop it on here. It just should go in easily enough. Dang, is that just gonna... It's really gonna do me like that? Alright, there we go. So we got that. Got all of this here. That should be fine. I just need to screw this in now, so screw this in. Alright. So there we go. That mechanism has been transferred over. And I need to do the same thing with this right here. This is going to be our game cart slot, and unfortunately that does not come with the new one, so we gotta scavenge that out ourselves, which is this. I need to switch my bit again. This one's thankfully just one screw here, which I'm going to remove. There we go, and we take it out a little something like that. That's easy, so we don't need to mess with that anymore, but I'll keep it in good condition. Now we need to transfer all those little bits over here. So we're going to do the same thing, just bring this over, and I think a little something like that. Yep, that's exactly how it should be there. At least I'm quite sure. It seems to be fitting just fine. So we put the screw back on. And we're going to be doing the same thing here. Kind of slide it in backwards like that. Make sure that is all closed up. Wonder how that's going to be. All right. Oh, well. We have that set there, and there's two screws that go in. I also just realized this is probably a little late into the video, but the exact kit that I got, the exact one I bought here, I'll try and link it down below in the description as to what I get. I think this was Bastop or Baystop. I think this was the brand that I ended up getting. So cool. I think we're all good on all of that. So now at this point, let me transfer this over back onto our switch. All right, and there's really not all too much I need to do here. So I'm just going to pop this all on. Make sure it fits snugly enough. There we go. And it all clicked in place. And yeah, actually, that feels great. I kind of wish it was like the entire casing here, but you know what? I'll just take the backplate as well too. That's fine. I'm not going to be super picky here. So now we just get to work backwards and put these screws back in. All right, and just to completely get this back to what it was here, I'll take my micro SD card, load that back in, and I'd say we're looking good at that point. All right, cool, very cool, and that's kind of how it looks just on the side there. So awesome. Well, I'm happy enough with that, so let's move away from the switch. Alright, so now let's go ahead and begin reshelling these Joy-Cons here. And now that the right one ended up popping out, you know what, I'm just going to begin with the right Joy-Con. So it looks like we have some buttons here as well. Which ones are they? Oh, okay, these ones are going to be for the left one. These ones are going to be for the right one. And I think we're all good here. I actually have, I'll even show you all my other pair real quick that I just did. I actually just reshelled these ones. They were gray and they're now white. And these ones are cool because they actually have the D-pad on them as well too. Unfortunately, the ones I ordered in the pack did not, but it's all good. I'm not super adamant on having to have a D-pad. I just thought it'd be a nice feature on these ones. But either way, let's go ahead and get to work on this one here and see what we're doing. It is worth noting this also came with some screws here, but I'm personally not going to be using those. I kind of just prefer to use the stock screws that came with the original controllers and shells themselves, so to speak. So let's see what we're up against. All right, here now we're gonna have to get into this. So this pair I've actually never opened up, so this is going to be a little bit tighter to get into. So I'm actually going to move that to the side. Let's see what we got here. I guess I'll kind of use a spudger to get in, if I can. Hopefully you all can see that easy enough. There we go. And it kind of opens up a little something like that, if you've never seen these open before. Careful, careful, careful. There we go. All right. So you gotta be careful with these because the thing is with Joy-Cons, it's not that they're not like super difficult by any means, but you really have to take your time on these because there's so many little things in here, just so many. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is disconnect the battery. There we go. That has been disconnected. And let's see what we can do while we're in here. Well, while we first have it open. So there is a little buckle right here. Let me zoom in a little bit further for you all. All right, hopefully that helps. This little buckle here, I'm just going to, or latch. I was coming at it the wrong way. But let's see if we can release that while we're here. There we go. I'm going to remove that ribbon, and there's one right there that I'm going to wait on. I am going to pull that out. That's going to be our little antenna. That will hang out there. We got the battery, which, there we go. Just kind of pull out like that. There's some adhesive. And we got the battery disconnected. Hooray, we are part of the way there at least. All right. And I'm wanting to switch up all of this here once we actually get that ribbon disconnected. So there's going to be a few screws. There's going to be one right here. And thankfully these aren't like, again, they're not terrible. You just have to take your time. You know what, as I'm saying that there, I was trying to get in with a tri-wing, but that is not the screw to use. So there we go. There is one. Here's number 2. And number 3. All right. Now when we release that, this is a little bit finicky here, actually. It's kind of a different way I want to go about this, because I'm going to have to take this off either way. So I'm going to take off the trigger. That's what I call it, at least. Kind of just release that, if I can. There's these 2 springs, which I definitely don't want to lose. I mean, you can just sneeze and they blow away everywhere, so I'd rather not deal with that tonight. But we got that, and there's another screw right here. And there we go. That is essentially just going to release this little ribbon. So I can remove this plastic. We got that sitting right there. Which I'm not even, you know what, I'm not even going to release that. I don't care to release that because I don't want to deal with that ribbon. But we do have this ribbon right here that we can release. There we go. Okay. Oh, alright. It's another button there that has a spring on it that I don't want to lose. So I'm going to work on this here first. And thankfully on another set, the other set I worked on prior, it actually had replacement SR and SL buttons. It doesn't look like I'm going to have to replace those here because it didn't come with them. However, actually is there, yeah, there is still going to be the bottom shell I have to replace. So I am going to swap this rail, the rail itself, into here. So that should be pretty simple to do. You pretty much just go in, you remove this screw, keep it to the side, firmly grasp it, and actually I'm a little disappointed so far of the lack of extra like cool new buttons that comes with this kit, but all well. So we got that old one there. We're going to bring the rail over. And we just need to grab that screw and screw this back in. We should be back in business. So the back part of these Joy-Con is thankfully pretty simple to do. And it's only made a little bit harder if you have to remove this part here to replace the two buttons underneath. But since we're not doing it for this kit, because it doesn't come with them, we don't need to worry about it. Looks like I can still press that just fine. I have to be careful since these are translucent. I don't want to be touching the insides a ton. The outside's okay, but the inside you don't really want to do. So there, the bottom part of the Joy-Con for the right one is completely done. So I'm going to move that over. And now let's work on the rest of the Joy-Con here. I just have to remember this we are going to be keeping in place. And it looks like that we can keep in. There's going to be a couple latches here. This one I'm going to release. This one I'm also going to release. And oh, this one I'm going to release as well. And I'm actually just going to completely remove the screws on this. There we go. That's been removed. And I'm actually going to be replacing this anyway. Since we're in here, I'm going to be replacing these with my own. Just because, you know, avoid the Joy-Con drift for as long as possible, if we can. So now, let's get the rest of this out of here. We've removed that. There's two screws right here. These two silver ones. That's number one, that's number two. We have the IR sensor here, which is kind of stuck down. There's some adhesive on there, so you kind of have to pull a little bit. Either way, once we got that all sorted, and kind of just remove, I just feel that, there we go. Remove all of that, and yep, we should be good there. I'll actually pop that back into place at one point. But either way, cool. We are all sorted, at least on the bottom here. So I'm going to start the transition process over to the new guy right here. There we go. Hopefully that looks all right. Cool. Cool. Okay. So on this, I'm just going to gently bring that over, reposition it. It's actually interesting in the kits I've seen, like this little sticky for the stick itself, I don't see replacements that come with them, which I find to be a little bit bothersome, but oh well. Okay. So we have that. Let me bring over the button. Is that, oh no, don't want to lose it. This is, yeah, this is the home button, so you definitely don't want your home to be upside down. Although even if it is, I mean, that's not end of the world. That's just home, you know. Because I have that completely, I'm going to do that because I have it completely flat. That was being a little bit bothersome. We're going to bring over which buttons we have. These ones, A, B, X, and Y, that's what we need to bring over. So the plus button, we're going to transfer yet again. This is one thing, again, like you sneeze and parts will go missing and go everywhere. All right, there we go. And the old A, B, X, and Y buttons I'm not going to be bringing over, but this piece right here that is held down by some adhesive, this needs to come over. So what is going to be the best way to do this? Oh, there we go. I mean, that certainly works. So I'm going to bring that, and I'm actually not going to place it in like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it behind this right here, like the actual, I'm going to call this a motherboard for lack of another name, but I'm going to hook this in. There we go. Oh no. Just trying to feel it. Oh. There we go. And I'm just going to use my thumb for this. That has now been latched in safely and successfully. And I'm also going to do the same with the IR sensor right here. I'm going to come over. Oh, I guess this will go underneath. There we go. And we're going to do about the same thing here. It actually is it. Just messing with all the little ribbons is a little bit annoying if you don't have a ton of practice with it, but it's all good. It's not the end of the world. So there we go. Looks like those two are at least fastened back in. I never disconnected the motor, so I don't have to worry about that. That is going to stay right there just fine. And let's start bringing over these new buttons. You know, the funny thing is with putting in the buttons right here, it's that I'm so used to Xbox controls, funny enough, so I'm trying to like put them in the wrong place just because of Xbox, because I'm used to that. But oh well, or at least mostly played it on there, you can say. There we go, that's all done. I'm going to pop that in. So it looks like that is, unless I'm missing anything here, well, I am, actually, before I speak too soon, which this can be put in later, that's fine. But I'm going to just gently pop that trigger in. I think that's all good. That should be fine. Yep. Yep. Okay, and let's begin bringing all of this over here. And this is why I had connected everything outside, because it just makes feeding it in much easier, as you can see. Like, check that out. We got the rumble, we got the IR, and we don't have to worry about reconnecting those two, because guess what? We already reconnected them. So now we got all that in place. I think we're good there. Yep. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we got to screw everything back together, don't we? So it looks like one of them is going to go right here. I pretty much just want to screw it in just enough that it stops. And the other one is going to be right down here. Should be at least. There's that. There's that. All right, and just as a quick spot check. Oh. All right, that's gonna get screwed in regardless. But we're all good so far. We're on a good track right now. So let me get a new... I need a new one of these. Let me grab one. Alrighty, so right here, what I will be doing is I'm just going to load this new one up. And again, like if you're interested in getting one of these, I'll at least have, you know, some links in the description to grab some. I just grabbed a pack of like 20 off of AliExpress, and these seem to do the job so far. At least they seem to be good. Either way, if I can pop this in, unless am I going to have to just load it with something else, we'll see. Let me bring this over a bit. Alright, actually I got that. So now we have that loaded up. I'm going to close that. And here. Get to pop that in. I think we're all good. Alrighty. I actually have to lift that up a bit. And there we go. So now we get to screw these two in. And it's going to keep raising because that's what it does, but we'll have that resolved here soon enough. And hey, look at that. We have all the buttons in. They're pressing. That actually looks pretty good. At least I like the look of it. I don't know. I like the look of this, of the Joy-Con itself, more than the console so far. But we're going to get those two from the other side. We got that. Let me go ahead and work on bringing this in here. So I think we got that. All right. And we're going to, of course, have to bring this here. It goes in a little bit like that, yes. So this is why I did it the way I did. I left that ribbon in because we're pretty much going to come in like so. We got that button secured, which is good. And oh, before we do that, but you all see what I'm trying to do right there, hopefully. Maybe zoom out a little bit. There we go. So we're going to do a little something like that. But I'm not going to do it just yet because we need to get this connected in here. Alright. This part is a little bit annoying since, again, we're going to be dealing with ribbons, but we can do this. I think it goes without saying as well, too, for anybody who's just kind of like interested in performing this. These ribbons are super sensitive, and also if you don't have them in just the right way, some things can go wrong. I mean, I'm sure you can definitely wreck your Joy-Con and such, but for example, the thing that I had personally run into was my right Joy-Con would not wire up. You could connect my Switch wirelessly, but not, you know, not wired, excuse me, but physically connected to the Switch, it would still be wireless. So I had to go in and I had to reseat these two connectors from the Joy-Con rail, and then it works just fine. If we can get it here. Alright, there we go. Got it. So we're going to latch that in. That is one. Okay, now we get to do that again with number two. Alright, so we should have that all, well, almost. Looks like the latch isn't fully pressed in, but there we go. So we have those two latched in. I think we're okay now. So we are almost done here because we need to pop in this here. Well, there's a few things we have to do. There's going to be a few. Alrighty. So we're pretty much going to bring this in. I want to pop that like so. There we go. And we're going to put that there. Perfect. So let me grab my screw before it disappears into the nether. Got it all placed. Perfect. There we go. So that shouldn't have to go anywhere. That's working just fine. Now, I get to pop this back on here, but we're going to be messing with the springs, which will definitely be fun. And I just realized I should actually, you know, while we're here, before I go about doing all that, I'm actually going to secure this in, because now we have the opportunity to, and I don't think, well, is there any other reason? No, I think I can get those in just fine. So I was more thinking of the antenna and the, what is it, the battery. Oh, there we go. That should be connected in. All right, that's one screw. Let's get these other two. All right, cool. Well, so far I think we got all of them, which is a fantastic sign. I think just to double check here, there is, get out of my way. There is this, which I am going to just reseat here real quick, or at least push in, make sure it's all pushed. Actually, that looks to be fine. It seems to be notched up there, so there we go. It's all closed up. So now let's see. We got this. All right, so that has been reconnected, which is great. And the battery, just for safety reasons, I'm going to do that last. I'm not going to connect it just yet. But we now need to get these two springs into place. And we're going to get our trigger back installed. So the way I have to do it, there's pretty much, if you all can see it at all, there's kind of like these two little nubs at the bottom that you have to line up directly inside of the springs. And then you kind of just push down and you make sure it clicks. So that button's working, that button's working. I think we're all good right there. Yeah, holy crap, cool. The very last thing we need to do is plug in the battery, which should go down here, and you kind of just get it into place, and then push it inwards. Let me actually, I'm gonna rotate it my way, kind of do it this way here, just to make it a little bit easier, at least for my own vision. That is right side up. All right, great, great, great. Yeah, that's definitely the right way to pop it in. So maybe I just don't have the most stable area here. And I mean, that would be true because my hands do shake a little bit, but there we go. We have it reconnected. So I'm going to place that in. I think we are all good there. It's not looking dirty by any means. So kind of pop that in like so. Bring it around here, reinstall the ribbon itself, or not ribbon, maybe just antenna. I'm not exactly sure what you would call this, but either way. Kind of pop it in, eventually should get it. There we go. It's a little bit something like that. Should work fine. All right, so now that we've kind of got that all stuffed in, when we button it up, it should just kind of go a little bit something like this. You kind of have to just line it up here, and that's all good. Yep. It's kind of hard to describe it. You kind of just have to look from there, get it lined up, it clicks in like so. Boom. There you go. It's powered up and everything. So now we can close this up. Close it up. And be done with at least half of this project here. I'm not really going to include the backplate because the backplate was pretty easy, in all honesty. You know what I would say is a success? If you ever take something apart and put it back together, and by the end you have not lost any screws and you don't have any leftover screws, to me that's always a successful surgery or repair or opening, closing, whatever you're gonna call it. That's always successful in my opinion. All right, real cool. I mean, that feels great. I would say that looks great and everything. Like, I'm a lot happier with at least the look of this so far. I'm a lot happier with this than I would have expected. That's awesome. All right, and it has the nice new stick on here as well too, which is pretty much identical to the old one. Honestly, because I've used these Joy-Cons less, I probably could have gotten away with without replacing this, but I just decided, you know what? My logic here again is while you have it all open, if you're going to replace the complete shell and you're going to open it up completely, just spend the extra 30 seconds replacing this and you'll be okay, because it's about the same level of effort. So one of those is done. That is awesome. Let's get on to the next one. All right, and the show must go on. We have the left Joy-Con shell right here, and we have the beautiful left Joy-Con. I actually say this in pretty good shape, but either way, we are going to be doing the exact same surgery to this. However, it is going to be a little bit different. At least from my observation, I feel like the right one is a little bit harder just because it has more stuff in it. But there's less stuff, so to speak, inside of the left Joy-Con here. So we're going to open it up and perform some beautiful surgery to this. Alright, got a little overzealous there, but it's all good. We're going to kind of pop that open. Alright, right here. Kind of pop open the side, if I can. Hopefully y'all can see, y'all can kind of see that, but either way, here. All right, I got it. It'd probably help if I had like a guitar pick or something, but I'm not gonna be using that. That's not at my disposal here, so there we go. Got that popped open, got that, and here we go. We are at the same impasse here. I'm going to put that all to the side because I'm just focused on not destroying this, not destroying it quite literally. There is all of that. Oh, first thing, so we don't destroy anything, just for good practice, disconnect your battery. We're going to come over here and we're going to not do that. Kind of pop off the battery like so. If I can. There we go. All right. Just have to use a little bit of force when you do that, but should be all good. We got 2 screws right here, and I have to switch that off. And actually, I'll get to that when I get to it. That's fine. So here is 1 screw. Here we got another screw. I just have to remember the order on these ones here because the gold ones go that way. And I believe I'll just have to do the same thing here. I'm going to choose to at least, I don't even think I need to actually. No, there's 3rd one down here. And this one is at least a little more forgiving. This one's a longer one here, thank goodness. So I'm going to just disconnect that and gently pull that. Cool. There is our trigger. And now we have full access to these. So I'm going to disconnect that ribbon, This is going to be for these two little boards right here, up at the top. It's interesting because they share a board as well. I'm going to disconnect this. That's going to be for our stick. The rumble motor, I'm just going to keep connected because you can do that. This right here, I am going to disconnect these two ribbons to the Joy-Con rail. So we've released the first one, and we've now released the second one. Perfect. Perfect. All right. And I'm wondering, you know what? I'm just going to do this one here again. So I'm going to put the rest of that over to the side. This can go over there. Actually, no. Got an order to it. It's fine. Let's do the bottom, middle, or I guess, yeah, bottom, middle, top on that. So for this here, this is again pretty simple, thankfully. I'm just going to unscrew this. And I'm not even going to remove that there. Gently pop that off. Remove the button. Bring the button over. Which order does it go in? If I lost track already, I might have. Alright, so I put that down. And then I'm going to pop this new one back on. And we seem to be able to press that just fine. Let me compare how flush it is. Alright, this should actually work. Alright, we should be good there. So I need to mount this on like so. This should be okay. Alright, and if I pop the screw in, there we go. Oh yeah, we can press that with no issue, it seems. So the bottom is done. That is awesome. I will move all that stuff over. Now let's do the middle guy right here. And this is really just going to be another swap transfer over. So just like before, kind of going to come under here. And this is how I choose to do it, at least. I kind of release it like this, if I can. It's worked before, at least. There we go. All right. We have both our springs there. And the left one makes this a little bit easier because this is so much longer. I'm going to unscrew this. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to transfer this over. Bring this over here. Screw that in. All right, and I can actually just pop the button on while I'm here. Oh no, okay. I thought these got all like tangled slinky on me, which I did not want to deal with tonight. I really did not. All right, so there is, no, it fell. Unbelievable. And we're just kind of going to do the same thing here. This one's spaced out a little bit differently. We kind of just need to pop these nubs onto each one. Where are, okay, I see the nubs here. One of them is a little more on the inside. One of them is on the outside. There we go. Okay. I think, is it, one of them is there. Well, okay, cool. I got to redo this. The left trigger, I remember, is a little more annoying. If I can get this. Maybe I might be able to fix this. Hold on. No, I don't. We're just gonna have to redo the whole thing. Okay, fine. We're just gonna have to redo it. We're just gonna have to redo this, and that's a part of life. You know what, so get this, I'm actually doing a bunch of these in one night, right? And the reason why I'm kind of doing this over and over is just so I have this like in my head completely, like I know how to do this, but I'm just like making like absolutely sure I do, because I'm going to be doing this for some family members at one point, and one of those things I kind of like rather, you know, use my own stuff as the guinea pigs and mess up my own stuff as opposed to messing up someone else's. I just think that is more polite, so to speak. So anything that I have to, you know, mess up or learn from mine should help others. All right, so again, we're going to have that. And I think I got it that time around. All right. Yes, I did. Cool. So that one is completely done. We have the bottom done. We have the middle done. And now we need the top part done. So. Okay. This will be able to remove once I get everything unscrewed. But as for that, I will unscrew this, and pop this off. And again, this is going to be trash, so I'm going to put that to the side so I don't mix it up. There are 2 screws right here. So that is going to be top right. This one's going to be bottom left. And at this point now, the cool thing is you can just remove the motherboard. And if at all possible, remove this. There we go. That's why it's a little bit harder, because there's some adhesive in there. All right. And there we go. So now we can begin our process yet again here. Well, almost. I'm actually gonna bring over this more solid stuff first. So first of all, again, going to get these 2 screws for the button. This one is going to be for another piece here. It's got to make sure we transfer everything over properly. Here we go, we have that, and with the spring that I really don't feel like losing today. So here we are getting to some point. I kind of just want to get to a point where all the stuff is starting to get screwed in here properly. So what are we looking at? Is it, I think it's this. This way should be fine. That fits in all. And then we can pop this in like so. Something along those lines. And then we just swap this back. So really we just have to work backwards here. I don't know, to me it's at least interesting because these are technically 2 separate controllers. I like seeing the differences between the 2 here when you tear them apart. I don't know, it's just entertaining to me. But either way, let's get all of these screwed back in. Alright, so I got that pushed in, and we can pop this guy back a little like so. There we go. So that's all done, and I can kind of just work from bottom up on here. So like for example, we got like this piece, which again, I'm not sure why it isn't, like this little adhesive thing isn't included. Like I simply don't understand why, but either way, we're gonna load this up here. That should be all good. There's going to be another button that I need. It's going to be this button. Put that on. It's going to be the camera button. And I do need that. And that should be it from you, because I'm going to choose to use the new pieces here. Which again, unfortunately, this isn't a D-pad, but it's all good. So now I get to figure out where the hell all these go. Oh, for anybody who, if you are indeed like watching this to see either for tutorial fashion or to see maybe how difficult this is, the buttons here, you really can't mess this up. For anyone who doesn't know, controller buttons are keyed pretty well. Like even like way back, like way old controllers. Like if you grab like a Nintendo Entertainment System one, they're all keyed pretty well. So it's really, you put it into the certain hole and then you move it around until it fits. It's really hard to mess it up. If you mess it up, you're really gonna have to use a lot of pressure and force to do so. But I'm sure it's possible. It's funny, I see that while I'm actually trying to get this. Damn it, all right, there we go. So we have all that sorted, and even like the these pieces right here, like the membranes, these are also keyed as well too. So I mean, everything should fit incredibly snug and incredibly well if placed in the proper places. You're gonna, in short, you're gonna know if you're doing it improperly. It's not gonna be like a guessing game or what have you there. Oh boy, okay, cool. where is my motherboard at? All right, here is my motherboard, so we can start loading this back up yet again here. This should all be okay. All right, and there we go. So just so I don't mess this up here, I am going to screw this back into place pretty early on. So there we go. That should be up top. And this one should be down here. Yep, something like that works. And let me also make sure, oh, this one I'm gonna have to back off a little bit. There. There. That's one thing you all have to check, just kind of a heads up on there. If you tighten this one a little bit too tight, then you will have, and I'm feeling a little bit there, but you'll have some difficulty pressing the buttons. So you don't want to like go as tight as you can on here, but it is good to just do, you know, regular button checks while you're reassembling this. Okay, that all feels great to me so far. So awesome. Let me also grab, not that, this is exactly what I need, because we're going to install this real quick. Put this back in. There we go. I want to do that because I'm going to have to get to the screw right there. So let's do this. Alright, we're going to start getting these the ribbons popped back into place. This one is supposed to go down here. So let me just get that all sorted first. And these I'm actually going to probably use kind of some tweezers, so to speak, because it'll make it a little bit easier. I just remember, I know I had a little bit more difficulty with the left one here. So I'm going to kind of load that up like so. Oh, that went in beautifully. Alright. Going to close up shop. That is locked in, and there's like some nice latches, not latches, but there's like some nice like notches as well too that show where your ribbon should be going when you're reinstalling it, like how far it should go in. So we got that. We're also going to do this one right here. This should just go in like so. That is about the farthest it will go, at least I'm feeling there. All right, and for this, just lock it into place. So that's all okay. That's all good. What else is there? There's obviously going to be the battery right here. But is there anything else? Let me just do another check. This will be okay once I lock it all in. So this here, we got this in. We're pretty much gonna go from here. This looks like the smallest one, and I believe it is. Okay, I think that is the furthest it will go. Let me just double, triple check. Alright, because I almost don't want to like pinch it either, you know? You just don't want it to get damaged while you're doing all this. So that should all be locked in. Alright, that's good. Cool. I think I just have a few more screws left. There's not any others that are really sticking out, which is phenomenal so far. No, that's coming off. No, 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 no. That's not what I want to have happen. It's these dang springs that you got to work with. Oh, and before I close this up completely, almost forgot, we are going to have to bring these two back in. So we got one of these, we got that's been raised. This, I feel like getting this on, funny enough, even with everything else that we do here, this is like the hardest part for me, at least in my opinion. I'm going to swap this around a bit, just so I can get a bit of a better angle here. Because yeah, I can do everything else with pretty much little to no issue, but when we're dealing with popping these ones back in, these two are so important as well. It just gets a little bit annoying. Okay, there. As much as I want to deny it, this just makes it so much easier when you got that spudger. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the rumbler, the motor out of the way. Just to also make this go in a little bit easier. Will it go any further? Nope, that's about it. And that's all locked in. Is that all good? Let me double check though, just to see. Just to be safe. No, that was just out of focus. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of just pushing it in lightly there, and it's not going any further, so that should be okay. Just gotta always double check with these ribbons. So I'm gonna pop this back in. That should be okay. The last big thing here then, because I have really all the ribbons reconnected here. So if that is to be the case, that's to be believed. We have that in, we have that in. There's going to be 3 screws I need to reinstall. I guess I just realized this is install the right word. I think it's just, you know, screw back in. Oh boy. For the last thing here, this is going to be our battery, of course, that we need, or else we won't be able to use this like a proper Joy-Con, will we? I'm just gonna take this, gotta pop it in. Hopefully y'all can see that. Should all be okay. Then press down once you have it in place. There, that's about it. Let me even just double check that this is working. Yep, we have juice to it. Awesome. So now, about the same thing as before. I'm going to load it up like so. Bob it back in place. Do all of that fun stuff. Is that it? Is that it? That should be it. That should be it. Cool. Let's get these last screws in. I think that's it. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Cool. Oh god, I'm moving things everywhere. But check that out. Look at that. We did it. That is that's looking beautiful right there. And honestly, these actually feel pretty nice as well too. Like, let's kind of zoom out, get a full picture view of this. All right, so here you go. As you all can see, this is how the Switch looks, at least from the front, all finished up. Now, the only thing is, it would be nice if there was like a full kit for the front of the Switch here, because at least just from this, it looks like a regular Switch with 2 really cool looking Joy-Con, well, Joy-Con controllers, Joy-Cons, whatever you kind of call them. In my opinion, at least, they look really cool. Like, these look much better than I expected. They feel great as well too, and then you flip the thing over and boom, I mean, look at that. The back is just, this looks great here. Like, this looks awesome. I think the only thing I've noticed that sticks out, and even this didn't really stick out as much, I have noticed right here that, you know, like when you're kind of seeing, you know, the transition from green to black, that's where it sticks out a little more. And the game card slot just doesn't fit as, I mean, you can take it out, you can pop it back in, you can close it, but it seems to be like a little crooked there in a way, like it doesn't go in 100% properly. So far, at least, that's about the only defect, so to speak. Wow, that feels great. No, this feels awesome. Let's give this thing a shot as well too. Let's see how this handles. You know, so far, just from a quick test here, it does feel great. I will say, and I think this is kind of just a thing you have to deal with going with one of these aftermarket ones here. It no longer has that stock feel, you know, just like, you know, the original, like the original plastics, all of this. I mean, it's smooth, it feels great. Like, in my opinion, it feels perfect. And even like, these ones here, like the other like standard plastic ones I have, like these white ones, even though they're aftermarket, there's a different feeling to them, but they still feel pretty great. This one here, just like when you wrap your hands around it, it just straight up, it's very plasticky, which you might be saying, well, obviously, look at it, but it's not enough for me to ruin any enjoyment of it, but it's enough to be noticeable. I guess that's how I can describe it. But yeah, that is great. That is great so far. I'm really liking this. There is one last thing that I want to do here, and it's not going to be, the hardware is all done. We're not going to do anything else with the hardware, but there's one more thing I want to do. All right, let's see how well you all can see it. You all can see these were previously gray. They are now kind of this neon green. If you look right here, check it out. They're showing up as neon green. If you want to know how to do that, I actually have a quick tutorial showing you all how to do it. Super simple to do. You just need a PC and a way to get these connected via Bluetooth, but that is about it. Anyways, I think we're all good at this point here. We got this switch all completely customized, all good to go, ready to rock. I'm incredibly happy with the final product here. I think we're all good. Anyways, that's about it for this video. This is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, a like would absolutely be appreciated. If you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well, too.